Welcome to today's video. We're going to be watching some true crime on the channel today. If you're watching this on YouTube, you missed the Twitch stream, but that's okay. You can follow the Twitch stream and watch whenever and whatever. I don't always do true crime, but I stream almost every day. If you're watching this on YouTube as well, consider subscribing. That would be really awesome. It's good to know that people like seeing this sort of stuff from me. And a lot of these videos are from the React suggestions of Discord, of my Discord. So consider joining the Discord in order to suggest some videos to watch. You know what I mean? Okay, here's another video. We're going to watch another one from Red Tree Crime called Gabby Realizes She's Being Charged with Murder. And for some reason, the dogs are out. So, I think this one will be a little something.
This is Gabriel, and she is about to be interviewed by detectives after shooting her boyfriend while they were both lying in bed. Gabriel claims it was all an accident, but what she doesn't know is that her boyfriend passed away on his way to the hospital.
Blood all over me.
Classic.
I know. That's right over here for me.
Classic accident.
There's a camera, so you're gonna sit there, and I'm gonna sit where you're at, okay?
I just want to know if he's alive or not.
I haven't heard otherwise, okay? You know what I'm saying? So I go with the no news is good news theory. That's how I operate. You
So
follow?
it's just good news for now.
No news is good
He
news.
already knows.
If he passed away, I would have heard about it. You know what I mean? Gabrielle,
His mom was screaming at me like
I know.
wanted that to happen.
let's start from this morning, and I gotta go back a little bit, okay? How long have you and been going out?
3 years.
3 years? So you guys been going out. How long you been staying at the house there?
A couple months.
Couple of months?
Probably not anymore because she screamed at me like I would want to kill her son. Like
We talked about that, and everybody's gonna try to figure out. Everybody's trying to figure out what's going on and what happened.
Yeah.
That's what I gotta do first. So.
he loves guns. He does this with guns all the time.
Okay.
That's like his thing.
That's his thing. Okay. You guys fight or something?
No.
Everybody fights. I fight with my wife. She wins. She wins, but I don't. You know, I try.
Oh!
Barely. Okay. You ever get an argument?
No.
He does everything you want him to
Maybe
do?
in the beginning, but not anymore.
Okay.
We're at a really
Where'd this guy come from?
relationship.
Okay. I never seen a guy that did it all right yet.
The hell?
I just figure, you know, other guys are like me, they do something wrong and we get in trouble. Right?
That happens.
It happens. That's the normal part of a
Feminism,
relationship.
yeah.
I'm not being mean, I'm not blaming you for nothing. You know what I mean?
Me, the cop, stands with you, woman. Yes. I also, my wife mad at me.
The detectives know two things. First, Gabriel and her boyfriend had been using hard drugs just prior to the shooting.
Well.
And second, her boyfriend died from the gunshot wound. For
Well.
now, they will keep this to themselves, and when the time is right, they will tell her he is dead.
And I apologize, but somebody told me you got Baker acted a little while ago.
Yeah, I did.
She got
I
what?
apologize, but somebody told me you got Baker acted a little while ago.
Oh.
Yeah, I did.
And was that just weeks, months, days
That
ago?
was a couple days ago.
Tell me
I have
about that.
Florida.
bipolar,
You have
so
bipolar?
Florida.
a little bit, but I'm pretty normal.
Okay. You take medicine for it?
Yeah, I've been on the same medicine since
What is that? It's basically like she was acting to a point in which she was psychologically evaluated with or without her permission. It's a law in Florida.
I was 14.
So you've been taking it regular?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. And I'm gonna ask you another question about some other questions that I don't want you to just go, staff decision, say no, okay? I don't care. But it's part of lifestyles these days, okay?
I'm so worried right now.
I know. Does do any drugs?
No.
Can you guys hear me sipping? I'm
He
sorry.
used to smoke weed, but
I'm trying to be quiet.
Okay, what did you do this morning?
he didn't do anything this
But my
morning.
soup is
You didn't
good.
do anything this morning?
No.
Because you know, I'm checking because if it's toxicology, you know, they're gonna draw blood out of it,
Yeah,
whether it's
yeah.
a hospital, we're gonna
Yeah.
find out, okay?
Yeah.
So what do you think potentially could be in his body?
Well, if he does it without my permission. So.
Okay. Is he the good boy or are you the bad girl?
Oh my god. That soup's coming up, bro. Wow. I hope she has some remark, because that's crazy. What are you talking about, ma'am? What are we talking about? Are you the bad girl? Is you the good boy?
Like, we're good. We're both good, but
Both good?
yeah.
Have you ever had any addiction problems?
What?
Have you had any addiction problems? With drugs?
Well, I took a fake Xanax and I almost died from it. I was in the hospital, so
Okay.
never again.
Was that recently?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
Never
recently.
again.
Okay.
Never again.
Interesting.
I'm just worried about I know.
Okay, and so am I, and I don't want to talk about, I'm not trying to paint him as a bad guy or nothing, but, well, if somebody's on drugs, sometimes they do silly things and they don't make any sense because the drugs affect their brain.
And he's definitely not talking about you right now. Don't worry.
And their
Yeah.
brain doesn't work right,
Yeah.
and they might do something that they wouldn't have done
Yeah.
without those drugs.
Yeah.
And we're definitely not talking about you.
So, is there any chance to get something this morning or something before this?
Not that I'm aware of. No,
Not that you're
around
aware of?
me. No, he doesn't do any. I've never
Okay.
seen him do drugs around me.
Okay,
Oh.
not around you or nothing?
No.
Okay, Chuck didn't do anything this morning.
No. No.
He was level-headed?
That I'm aware of.
Okay,
He seemed level-headed to me.
okay. So,
He seemed
Excuse me.
fine to me this morning.
okay.
And I know I caught the back half of it, and you guys don't really fight or
Oh,
anything.
shit.
No,
Player
no,
three.
Perfect.
And
Player three coming
you
in.
guys always talk to each other?
Yeah.
Okay.
The detectives move on to the shooting itself. They want to know how Gabriel accidentally shot her boyfriend.
Okay, so then, does he come back to the room with you?
Yeah.
And then tell me what happened. Where's the gun at?
He usually keeps it in a gun box, but he had it out. And I didn't want him to have it out because
Okay.
I don't like guns like that.
Where did he have it out at?
Like by the bed.
So it was underneath the pillow kind of thing.
Yeah.
He had it, when you said he had it out, though, I think he's got it out like.
Guys, I am not a gun owner myself. I understand the appeal. I see the argument. I know the logic. I know people who have that logic. If you're going to own a gun, please, for the love of God, have it like in a box, locked behind a code, in a box locked behind a code. The amount of cases that I've stumbled upon just doing this, not even including like stuff I studied in college or things I was told about or cases cops have told me about, the amount of cases where it's like, well, a gun was just literally on the ground, so I shot him, more or less, is baffling. Yes, and put the ammo in a completely different case, somewhere else in the house. Like, not only by owning a gun is the suicide rate for the males in the house increased, the likelihood of people being shot by that gun that live in that house is more likely than not. It introduces as much dangers as it protects. I'm telling you this statistically. You are free to believe what you want. I understand the need for protection. I understand the worry for protection. It's a very valid thing to be concerned for the safety of your family, and believing something so effective is as a means to do so. I understand that. As a parent, I understand that. I don't agree. But if you're gonna do it, you absolutely need to be safe about it. It's like other people don't have to know where it is. The ammo certainly shouldn't be loaded or with the gun, and it should be locked away nice and inaccessible by most people. I can't even think about how many times we've seen this. I remember the case of that daughter, literally I don't even remember how old it was, a teenager. I remember the video being framed as teenager. Like a 12, 13-year-old shot her mom for busting her for smoking weed at school because the mom had her gun like underneath the bed, like the mattress. And the girl knew about it. And for some reason, the girl just decided to pop her mom because she knew where that was and had access to it. And I fucking hate that. It's crazy. Like, you feel terrible. And like, I can understand like why that woman would want that gun close in case, but at the same time, like, I'm like, once again, the introduction of just as many problems as safety assurances. You know what I mean? Like, it is so dangerous. It is so dangerous. Like, there's this level of like complete faith in gun ownership that people think that like nothing bad can happen to the gun owner because of the gun. Like, there's never this consideration that like maybe this thing will hurt me first. And that creates this lack of security and maintaining of the safety of the house and the security of the gun. And it creates these situations where you're like, how can this even happen? Why does this even happen? The fact that this even occurs and a person dies in result of it, this situation and that other situation I referenced, is upsetting. It's upsetting. And the worst part is I don't know about this situation, but with the other one, that was the mom's choice to put that gun there. And she was the one that was affected by it and killed by it ultimately. And that's what's so awful, is there's this level of like, well, shit, dude. Like, that's terrible. But also, like, what are we doing? It's so preventable, and that's what's upsetting as well. I don't know, man. It sucks. Once again, I'm not telling anybody how to like feel. I understand gun ownership is pretty polarizing. I like being around it academically and like in general. I understand. I see where people come from with wanting it and liking it and enjoying it. I've shot guns before. It's exhilarating. I don't personally think it's a very safe thing to keep circulating around my house. And if I were to do so, that thing would be locked like a bank. And then the ammo would be in a second bank somewhere completely different in my house. Like, it's just not a good idea to have it in any way easily grabbed and fired, especially because of stuff like this that I have seen way too many times.
Like, playing with it or something. Is he messing with it or?
He does occasionally, but
let's talk about today. Was he doing something
yeah,
with it?
he was playing with it.
Playing with it?
But I didn't think there was any bullets in it.
Do you know anything about how that works with the thing
No,
going
I
in
don't
the bottom and
know.
all
I
that?
don't know how guns work at all.
Okay.
Can you like try to describe what he was doing with it? Like,
kind of like messing, like cocking it back and just like.
Sounds like she also might not know that she'll probably have gunpowder on her hands from firing it.
I don't know, like looking at it.
and that's normal for him?
Yeah.
Okay.
He likes guns. He's
Yeah.
into guns. I don't know anything about guns.
Okay. Do you know if the magazine, you know what I'm talking about, the part that goes in the bottom of it?
I know what that
there's
is.
Two different questions. Was there a magazine in it when he was doing that?
Maybe.
Because like if I go like this and slide it like that, a bullet comes out. Did one fly out?
No.
If it was
I
a
don't
fired,
know.
if it was a fired round.
Just
No, but he was really upset today. Like, he was crying really bad, so he was really upset today.
so what's he saying?
He doesn't really talk much. He's just more like, he keeps a lot of stuff in.
Okay,
And he just like, him and his mom are arguing really bad today.
okay.
I really hope he's okay. I can't stop worrying about him. I'm sorry.
And the gun's underneath the pillow, right?
Yeah,
At
and
this
I took it away from him.
Did he pick it up or did you just pick it up?
I picked it up because
Underneath
I took it
the
away from
pillow,
him because he was
man.
pissed off.
And earlier you motioned like you stuck it down the front of your shorts or something, your pants or whatever?
Yeah, like I stuck it here.
Okay.
Well, how did the gun get from the pillow to your waistband?
I just put it there because
So
his mom doesn't like guns laying around, so I just try to put it somewhere like secure.
okay, so you guys are laying in bed. Mom leaves. It's just the two of you. He doesn't say anything,
No.
and then so
No, we
you.
were just talking, hanging out.
Okay, so you grab the gun and put it in your waistband because mom doesn't like it,
Yeah, and then I put it back down.
and then so when did you grab it during the argument? Did you put it in your waistband during the argument to keep it away from mom or?
Yeah.
Okay, so
she doesn't like it out open.
okay, they're done, right? And you put the gun back after they're done arguing. Okay, and then what happens?
I handed it to him, and then boom.
Was it loaded
It
under the
just-
pillow?
Boom.
But
I don't
clearly.
Like, I remember trying to hand it to him, and then it just went boom, and then blood everywhere, and I'm just like, I don't know how to handle guns, and
Not how guns work.
I don't think I'd press the trigger or anything, but I handed it to him, and then it just went blank, and then there was blood everywhere.
How after you set the gun down, how did you have it?
By the way, definitely, this seems ridiculous to state, but if I don't have like a gun-esque thing in here, I can't like exemplify it. You're definitely not supposed to hand a gun over like this. That's basically what she's implying, which is ridiculous. You're supposed to hand it over like kind of like this with your hand with one hand on the muzzle. I mean, I could be wrong, but you're supposed to flip it over, grab the fucking chamber. Like, you're not supposed to have your finger anywhere near the trigger. And you're certainly not supposed to point it towards the person you're handing it to, because it kind of looks like you're about to shoot him, weirdly enough.
Hand it to him.
Like, just like this.
So you set the gun down and then you.
Yeah, I put it down, and then I think I went to go hand it. My mind is really blurry right now, but that's the best I can give you. I went to go hand it to him, and then I don't know. I didn't pull a trigger though, so that's what.
Gabriel claims that as she was handing the gun to her boyfriend, it suddenly went off. She also makes it very clear that even though her memory is a little hazy, she knows she never pulled the trigger.
Yes.
So you handed it to him.
I can't remember anything, but I definitely didn't kill him. I know that much.
Did he get a hold of it?
Yeah.
And I don't have my gun with me, and if I could get a blue gun, a not real gun.
Yeah, but I didn't shoot him or anything.
Right, I just wanna
but
see-
he might have, because the way I handed it to him, maybe he did. I don't know. It just went off. The whole gun went, and it, and then he was like gasping for air.
Okay, so you were handing it to him?
Yeah. And he was gasping for air, and he was bleeding, and I tried doing compressions, and I tried like holding his head, and I didn't know what to do.
One of the detectives leaves to get a replica handgun. It's important for them to find out
Oh,
how she handed the
no.
firearm to her boyfriend, so they can determine if it was an accident or if it was intentional.
I think
That's not what they're doing. That's not what they're doing, but it's okay. They're burying her.
what happened. I don't know. It's all foggy to me, but
And that's kind of why we're talking, trying to,
I
go
want
through
to see him so bad. I hope he's okay.
Well, and this is it's a hard thing to say right now. No news is good news. Does that make sense? Because if we're no news is good news kind of situation, right?
Yeah.
Because we know if we're not hearing anything, then we know stuff's still going on and in the works, right?
Yeah.
So that's why we said as soon as we'll know, we'll let you know. Okay?
And his mom was like screaming at me and like yelling at me, and I'm just like I'm just 19 years old. I don't know how it went off.
Okay.
I really don't know how, but it did. It scared the shit out of me. There's blood coming everywhere. I just hope he's okay.
Yeah.
I want to see him so bad.
We'll work on that, okay?
I don't even know if I was the one that accidentally did it, because he was grabbing it too.
What makes
It's a good thing we can find that out. It's a really good thing we can find that out based off of gunshot residue that stays on people's hands regardless of cleaning them. Fun fact, you can wash your hands, but that doesn't get rid of gunshot residue. It can still be seen.
What makes you think that he grabbed it? What makes you think that? How were you holding the firearm when you?
I never hold it with the trigger.
Yeah, I know.
So I think he might actually grab the trigger, because I'm terrified of guns. I don't hold guns with triggers.
Okay.
Unless he gives it to me and I play around with it with this stuff.
I'm sure she meant by the trigger, but that's still very funny to think about, the idea of a gun without the trigger. But I'm sure in that moment she's meaning she doesn't hold them by the trigger, but it's just funny to be like, what?
Oh my god, that was so horrible.
Only if they don't have one.
Absolutely. It's understandable.
According to Gabriel, they were both sober, and she believes the gun went off when her boyfriend took it from her. As the interrogation continues, her story will drastically change, and the detectives will call her out for her many lies.
Not a good sign.
They will let her know her boyfriend's fate.
So you were laying on the bed, right?
Yeah, I was laying on the bed.
You're laying on this side?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, bro's
You
shaking.
originally put this, where'd you have it at? It's
Damn,
cold,
give her a whole Glock.
so I apologize. Where'd you have it at?
Damn.
Pants or shorts or something?
Oh yeah, because he was crying at
They gave her some heat.
So
I put it like this so he didn't have it. Because I was scared he was.
And see, that's different than the way I would do it, so that's why I asked you, okay? Does he ask you for the gun?
Yeah.
So then what do you do?
I just gave it to him like this.
Okay.
How does gun residue stay so long? I mean, I don't know the specifics. It's just the chemical compounds aren't easily washed away. Like how somebody's hair can test positive for cocaine days after they've ingested it, because for some reason, in some way, the chemical compound within the cocaine ends up in the hair follicles of your hair. So if they were to test you, they can test your hair for cocaine, even though hair's not really involved in the process of using cocaine. So, at least to my knowledge.
But I don't know how it.
Yeah, weed's the same way.
I don't know how it went off.
So you kept it put it back in your shorts,
I don't know how it went off, because I always hold the gun like this.
So hold it like that? Okay.
Yeah. How it went off.
So you kept it put it back in your shorts,
I don't know
Is that
how
the
it went off, because I always hold the gun like this.
So hold it
Okay, so we're not holding it properly at all, because I see the hammer right there. So that's still not a good idea. I always point the gun at somebody when I hand it to them. I always point it directly at the person. Very safely. My hand's not on the trigger, though, so it's like a safe kind of point at him.
like that? Okay.
Yeah.
So when it went off, did you feel a jerking motion on your hand?
No.
You didn't feel it?
No.
But and if did I grab it? How did I?
What do you mean?
Did I take it from you? How did I get it from you? Because I'm thinking I'm laying on this hand, so I got to do it with this hand, right? Or how's that work? Do you remember?
No. What do you mean?
The detective asks her to demonstrate how she handed the gun to her boyfriend to see if the shooting was accidental. Gabriel.
Once again, I understand thinking that. It's not to see if it's accidental. It's to see if she's stupid enough to create a scene in which they can argue about later on, especially if she's inconsistent about it, especially for the lawyer if it goes to court, and more importantly in the moment for the police if they try. I'm imagining a scenario in which like hours later they ask her to do this again, and if she's in any way not the same consistently, why, like if she's not consistent about the situation, they'll use that. They'll be like, why was it this way hours ago but now it's this way? And it's a way to be like, you're not making it make sense. You're making it change, and that's not looking good for you. It's a tactic. I understand it. I understand making it seem like, thinking it's like to see if she did it by accident, but based on what he said, they already know he's dead. They're already suspicious of her. She's the only other person in the room. So it's either an accident or it's not, and this is not the way to prove if it's an accident or not. There's much harder evidence to do to evaluate whether it was intentional or not. Like the ballistics, the forensics, the bullet trajectory, his positioning, her positioning, like, etc.
Appears very hesitant because she is either lying or she is worried she will make herself look more guilty.
Yeah, you're being very
I
helpful.
don't think it was me. I think it was a malfunction with the gun or something.
It could be, but we got to go through this to figure it out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, like I said, if I took the gun, I would have stuck it in a different way than you stuck it in, because you stuck it in a different way I never would have done, but that's the way you do it.
Yeah, that's because he was really upset.
Great argument by the cop, by the way. Great to be like, well, we're different people, so how do you do it?
Yeah.
I.e. him, and he reaches for it.
Yeah,
then,
he might have actually.
Once again, another like, you show me so we can use this, because it's like he could easily just be like doing it himself to be like, was it like this? Was it like this? Which could be like a little bit of coercion, but you know, for argumentative sake, he could like be doing it himself to be like, did you do it this way?
Accidentally.
Is he mad? Is he trying to grab it from you like a snatching thing, or is it like, oh, I'm taking your hand?
Grabbing it, yeah. He wasn't careful with it.
Okay. But just like you're handing it, we're laying here like this, right?
But I think it went on this side. It was
A
on
bullet? When his injury was on this side of his head?
I don't know how to use guns. I don't.
No. And if I, and this is a silly question, we're standing here looking at it together.
There's not much to him, unfortunately.
Here.
Right there. Okay, so you do know something, and you know that this part goes back, right? If I wanted you to point it and shoot it, could you point it and shoot it?
Oh my God! Don't do it.
You guys went to the range before, right?
Don't do it.
Do you know where the trigger? Do you know what I mean by the trigger is?
This thing.
You know, if I told you to point it at that wall and pull the trigger, do you know how to make it go?
Girl, don't do it, girl.
No.
I mean, yeah.
This.
Yep. Okay.
Like that.
So you're not dumb. You're acting like I don't know nothing about it, and see.
Okay.
And so.
So you put it back like
Yep.
that.
Yep. But you didn't do that.
No.
That's all. I should ask you.
I
just gotta ask you.
Gabriel makes it very clear that not only does she not
No assistance required to figure that out. Not exactly a good look. Could have easily argued incompetence in court, but now that she like willingly pulled the trigger by herself, I mean, it wouldn't have been a great argument, but it's still one they could have made. Yeah, can you show me like how theoretically you could have just shot him dead? Like theoretically, how would you have shot the gun if it went off?
like guns. She also knows nothing about them. She says this multiple times to make sure they know how ignorant she is to firearms. The only problem is, at the beginning of this interview, she claimed that her boyfriend took her shooting at the gun range multiple times.
A little bit loud. I don't know a lot about guns. I don't like to mess with guns, but it went off, and I don't know. I don't even know if the trigger was pulled. I didn't pull the trigger.
And it could be. That's one of the things we do is after we're done, we get the gun and we send it down to the lab and they test it to make sure that it's not broken. So, but you don't recall.
Yeah. Breaking news, guys. You can test if a gun is actually malfunctioning or not. That's something you can find out. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. You mean they're not just going to believe me? Uh-oh.
I mean, did he grab at you and you squeeze the trigger? I mean, because if I grab you, you know what I mean, you might.
What does it mean for a gun to malfunction, like technically? Oh, yes. Sorry, my team scored. Either something within the gun is broken, which causes it to work improperly and potentially shoot or jam. This malfunctioning could also imply it jams. Or an outside influence like weather, dirt, sand, you know, anything. Something pushing on the trigger, etc., could make it go off as well, based on where that outside influence affects. So it's just gun malfunction is like, did something intrinsically, or did something inside of the gun make it go off, or did something outside of the gun make it go off? Damn. 25 gifted subs from Emerald Cat. Damn. Thank you very much, dude. W's in the chat for that. Appreciate it a ton. All right, huge. My hockey team scored. I said something maybe informative and intelligent, so people forget I'm an idiot for 5 seconds. And I got some money. What a day. What a great pause.
No, he didn't.
Let's keep going.
He grabbed it fast and started bleeding.
Okay.
Okay.
Did he ever get his hand on the gun like this?
Yeah, either way, it's very easy to find out what's wrong with the gun. It's a very easily discernible thing.
He was like reaching.
Absolutely.
That close.
How close was his hand to? You said it never got that close, so
okay.
It was about there when it went off.
Yeah.
Okay.
This changes everything. The fact that her boyfriend never touched the gun shows that at the very least,
Just had another
Gabriel
good
shot
shot.
and killed him due to her negligence with the firearm.
You know the simple things like this is the bad end, this is the trigger, and you know how to make that thing go on the top.
Yeah, I don't like to mess with guns
Okay,
for that
I'll take
reason.
it from you. I don't want to traumatize you by holding it all.
No, it's okay.
That's okay.
Look at, oh, whoa.
Take it from you. I don't want
Look at the form.
I don't wanna
Ready?
traumatize you.
Boom. Holds it by the top.
to by holding it all.
One hand. Hands it with barrel towards
It's
him.
okay.
Bang!
Trying to figure out what happened, okay?
You
Proper gun disposal alert.
went to give it to him, and then it went off.
Can the gun be tested for what time it got shot at? That's tough. That's tough without outside influence. So like in Australia, any enforcement officer with a pistol has something on their person that logs when they unholster their gun and when they shoot it. Some police officers in America have the one for when they shoot it. Not every gun does that. Obviously, people don't have that just like on their guns. I'm not 100% sure if you can test like if like the age of the gunpowder. That wouldn't make much sense to me because like gunpowder can just like sit in a bullet for however long. So it's hard. How do you know exactly when that gunpowder left the bullet? You probably wouldn't. Yeah, I mean, bullet casings can sit unused for years, so it would be a hard thing to argue. You can't exactly determine when that pistol was loaded, when that ammo was put in, how long that ammo's been available for that person. Like you could find an argument, I could imagine, but that's extremely circumstantial if I'm thinking about this legally. Like that gets, like I'm splitting hairs 5 times already. It's a lot less matter of fact. And like I said, like Australia has it to where like their holster is hooked up to some sort of feedback device on their person where even when the gun is unholstered, their precinct gets a notification that they unholstered the gun. And then they have another one for if the bullet's fired. Meant like a casing from a firebolt. No, that's what I mean. It's like there's so many things you could argue about that it's like it would be very difficult to determine. And even if in some way you can, from something I'm not knowledgeable about, it would be very circumstantial in court. Like that would be a very hard argument to make, because it's like there's so many outside factors on top of that, the factor you're focused on here. Like, yeah, I guess there might be a possibility that I might not know of, but I just don't think that would ever even come to fruition, because it's like there's so many ways you could argue, like, how is that even something you're coming to a conclusion with because of like this. You know what I mean?
Okay, so he wasn't grabbing for it, really? No. Okay.
After finding out that her boyfriend never touched the gun, the detectives leave the room to discuss what to do next. At this point, Gabriel is not free to leave, and at the very least, she will be charged with manslaughter.
But we got a couple things we want to talk to you about.
I want to press charges on his mom because she made.
Yeah, great. Yeah, that's a great thing to put up. I mean, like, yeah, there's like, holy shit, I just zoned out so bad. Right. So there are things you can determine, like autopsies can find when time of death is based off of carbon dating. And there's like, you can find bullet matching. So what you might not understand or know off the top of your head is that bullets and the gun create sort of like a specific sort of groove. Not necessarily like the same gun, but that gun, like that type of gun. Does that make sense? Like, because they're processed in a specific way to, when fired, spin the bullet to cause it to project, right? Like to create a trajectory. So the spiraling of the bullet within the chamber of the gun creates this groove pattern on the bullet, on whatever it hits too, because the bullet's still spinning when it enters whatever it hits. So yeah, it's like a fingerprint, but less specific, more specific to like, it would be able to tell what families it was, not which family member. Does that make sense? So they'll 100% do that. They'll see if the bullet that penetrated his body is matching with the gun, and if that gun takes those bullets or not, etc. Like they'll check their boxes and stuff.
Threats to me.
So before we talk about anything else, we have to have a yes or no answer that you want to talk to us.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
The detective reveals that her boyfriend's mother told them some things that contradict what Gabriel has told them.
That's good.
So she told some stuff to Trey about what happened today that you didn't share with us. So we want you to either to tell us the truth or not tell us or whatever.
Of course,
okay?
I'll tell you the truth.
So I'm gonna let him talk for a few minutes because he talked to her.
Oh, she was yelling at me.
I know. So
Did you hear it?
I did.
Yep.
So have you been being honest with us?
Yes, I've been 100% honest with you. 100%.
So here's what I know. Okay. Your fiance's sister saw you guys using drugs earlier today. This is what I know.
Wait, what?
Oops.
Caitlin saw you guys using drugs today. You and your fiance.
Womp womp.
She went to your mother-in-law, your future mother-in-law, and told her that she saw you guys using drugs and that your fiance was using drugs again.
Yeah.
And then that's what your mom came in and started arguing, confronted your fiance about.
Is that right?
She told me that she confronted her son about using narcotics. Okay? She told me she confronted her son about using drugs.
Yeah.
Okay? So now we've gone from he was completely fine, we don't know what the argument was about, to you saying that it was about him using drugs, right?
Earlier, yeah.
Earlier, okay? And that he was to the point.
Yeah. Great addition to the bullet stuff. Different bullets create different entry and exit hole sizes, so it can be a good guide to determine what type of gun the victim was shot by if bullet or casing is unable to be found. Exactly. That, yeah, like once again, more just highlighting that like there is this level of fingerprint analysis within bullet holes and pistols, or not pistols, but bullets in general. That is really interesting. Like at the end of the day, my hockey team scored again. It's very interesting how it is broken down and how it works. I would honestly like you guys should look into it. It's really cool. Like it's really, really cool. It's very similar to how fingerprints are made and how those are determined. Once again, a lot less sophisticated because it can't be as specific as a fingerprint, but it's similar to being able to name like the brand the car is a part of rather than the make itself.
Where he's lethargic, where he's falling asleep,
like kind of just not there.
Not with it?
It took him about 30 minutes to get back to normal.
So you know he was using drugs?
Yeah.
Before, when you told us that he wasn't.
You told us earlier you didn't know anything about drugs and he didn't do drugs.
Well,
Was that
And like I said earlier, they're using what she said earlier against her because they're telling her finally, after letting her talk herself into a hole, that they've been told different, so why is she lying? They're using it against her.
untrue?
sometimes. But
Okay, but today he did something.
yeah, today he did. Yeah,
What kind?
Xanax.
Xanax?
Yeah,
You don't know anything about him using cocaine or fentanyl?
cocaine and fentanyl. No.
No?
No, well, cocaine he does.
I'm gonna
sometimes.
do
He
a
does sometimes,
Xanax.
and he did today.
Yeah,
And he used fentanyl today too, didn't
No. he better not have
he?
used.
He better not have. Do you use fentanyl?
No, I don't use.
The idea of people doing Xanax is so funny to me because I would take one and just be like, what's up? I understand people actually have like adverse effects to it, but I like as somebody whose brain is just scrambled and fried 5 times over, like I just know if I took a Xanax at a party and people were like, it's so fun, I'd just be like, be like, fuck, this is so lame. I'd like all of my joy would leave because I would be so like leveled that like any inebriation from like anything at the party I have would just be gone because my brain would just settle and I would feel like at ease and I'd be like, this is boring.
How do you get the track marks in your arm?
I went to the hospital.
Both arms,
Yeah, I
actually.
went to the hospital.
You went to the hospital?
Yeah,
What'd you do today?
many times.
Xanax.
Anything else?
No. No, I don't use fentanyl.
You shouldn't.
Okay.
It's dangerous.
The thing about Xanax is if someone takes more than they need, they can black out. It also affects the frontal lobe.
They can. I mean, that's kind of true for like every drug. He's just describing overdosing. Really. Kind of describing a general like overuse of any drug and presenting it as a Xanax only thing when that's kind of just like how overdosing starts. Also, frontal lobe changes are what Xanax is supposed to do because it's like it changes chemicals in your frontal lobe to regulate ADHD, whatever, it's fine.
Which controls a person's judgment, impulse control, and their decision making.
Remember you told me he was not doing drugs. And now you just, because we confronted you.
I don't think it was the
Now you're
Xanax,
telling us
man.
that
Yeah.
He was using drugs.
Yeah, cocaine.
And you're saying that you're not using any drugs.
No.
Except for Xanax.
Yeah. But that was today.
When's the last time you did cocaine? We're being honest here, we're checking. Yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay, now that makes more sense to me, okay?
Uh-oh.
I think you're being more honest.
I was aware he was like slumping over. He was making me mad. I had put him in the bed and he was like on and off. Like he would like close his eyes and then he would wake up and then I would slap him because like it scared me. I do little bits at a time, like recreationally. Like I don't do enough to make me like that because I'm not that type of person. But
So then what made you feel like you had to grab the gun from under the pillow?
What, you think I killed him?
No, I'm
Tried to
asking
kill him?
because
We're trying to
earlier
figure out why you took the gun.
you said it was because he was irritated, and now you're telling us that
Yeah,
he was
he was
dopey.
irritated, but he was coherent.
Gabriel's initial story was that her boyfriend was sober and coherent.
Once again,
right
just
before he
using
was
what she
shot,
said against her.
But now her story has changed.
This is like 100% another easy example of like literally don't fucking say a single thing to the police, even if you're innocent, because it is so easy to twist and contort and argue differently, especially if they have direct evidence of this, of the conversation that you just had. Like, how do you can't argue against that? You just fucking said it. Like you just get caught with your pants down. Like, it's foolish. And like, yeah, it's probably great that she didn't do it this time because she's probably a murderer based off of the title and how this is trajecting. But you know, innocent people talk to the police plenty, and the police are wrong plenty, and they'll take anything suspicious as suspicion rather than maybe they're just being a little stupid or a little like maybe they're just like not understanding the situation. But the misunderstanding of the situation works. What the fuck just happened? Something in on my desk just made a noise. That literally like works in their favor, you know what I mean?
In the new version, her boyfriend was high on drugs and he was very agitated.
And then so you felt like because he was irritated, you grabbed the gun from under his pillow.
I don't know if it was under the pillow, but I just would rather it have been on me.
Well, where was it then?
It was right like on me. And I went to go hand the gun, and I don't know if the trigger is easy. I don't know. I don't mess with guns like that. And it went off, and I just freaked the fuck out.
He wasn't grabbing for it?
Who?
He wasn't grabbing for it?
No, he was grabbing for it.
You told us earlier he wasn't.
Like to get the gun.
But he hadn't touched it yet?
No, he didn't touch it.
He was
yet.
reaching,
Yeah, he
but
was
he never
reaching
got to
for
touch
it,
it.
but he didn't
Okay.
grab it yet.
Okay. Did he?
You're the bad one. You're the nice one.
No. He's nicer than me, probably.
Normally.
Does that make you the bad girl officer? I can't get over him saying that earlier.
It was an accident.
You accidentally shot your fiance?
I didn't mean to. I mean, like.
Of course.
I don't know a lot about guns.
Okay.
I just picked up the gun.
I just showed you exactly how to aim and shoot a gun. I don't know anything. I just showed you exactly how to do it, though.
I picked up the gun and gave it to him, and boom, it went off. And then there was blood coming out of him, and I was trying to, he was gasping for air. And I just
Gaslight
didn't
them,
know what to
queen.
do. I didn't know what to do. I would never intentionally kill somebody ever. Am I going to jail?
We had a problem because when we left the room
Yes.
earlier, he shared with me that he had talked to his mom, and the argument was over drugs. You doing drugs, him doing drugs, everybody doing drugs.
Wait,
I said
the argument was
the argument between his mom and him was over drug usage.
with him,
Right.
not me.
Right, with drug usage.
Not me.
Right, but she was mad about him doing drugs. And you didn't talk about drugs because you told me he doesn't do drugs, I don't do drugs, and we knew you were telling us a story. And I wanted you to tell the truth, okay?
But, I mean,
So that makes sense, right?
It's a sensitive topic. So
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
But
But the truth is what
Right.
we need to know, right? Isn't
Now it's
Yes.
sensitive.
Yes.
Now it's a sensitive
Yes.
topic, of course.
From now on, we're not going to tell those stories. We're going
Yes.
to tell the truth, right?
yes.
Okay.
The detective will now bluntly ask Gabriel if she intentionally shot her boyfriend.
Did you shoot him on purpose?
No, I would never. I'll take a
You
life.
gotta ask me. I had to ask you. You know what I'm saying? I gotta ask you. Did you shoot him on purpose?
Never.
Were you fighting with him?
No, never. We get along
No
great.
fighting or
I'll
nothing?
take a polygraph test.
Okay. But you said you shot him, right?
Hi.
The gun was in your hand and it went off, right?
Well,
I know it's hard to say, but you've told me everything.
I went to go hand him the gun.
Don't say it, girl.
Yeah,
It was in your hand.
Don't say it.
went off.
It went off in your hand.
Don't say it.
So, and you said, from what you told me and him a couple times,
Don't
his
say
hand
it.
was not on the gun, wasn't near the gun. He
He
was
was
reaching
reaching
for it, but then it went off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't
I'm
say
going
it.
to jail.
I don't know the answer to that one right now, okay?
Even though it was an accident.
Can't tell him that. Can't tell her that.
We'll go talk to people. We'll go talk to our sergeant.
Talk to the sergeant.
Can't
He's
answer
watching. Okay, and lieutenant. We gotta figure out.
I would never be. I don't know how to handle guns.
You literally showed them in this room exactly how to handle a gun.
Earlier, you guys have been to the range before. You guys told me earlier that he'd taken you to the range before, the gun range, right?
Yeah, like once or twice.
Okay, so is there any chance when you were handing them the gun that you accidentally pulled the trigger?
No.
Just
Don't
an
answer
accident.
that. Well, that's a good way to answer
I don't
that.
think so, no.
But the gun went off, right?
Yeah, the gun went off.
Okay.
That's why I'm asking if there's a chance you could have
It's the mysterious third option. A ghost.
accidentally pulled the trigger.
Oh my god.
I'm just asking.
I don't know, babe. I'm not
Zoinks.
good with guns, that's why I don't like.
That's why I'm asking that. Because you said you're not good with guns, so I didn't know if there's any chance that you remember maybe pulling it or.
No, I don't remember pulling it at all.
The detectives tell Gabriel they are going to call the hospital to find out the status of her boyfriend.
They already
They
know.
want to make sure they don't have any more questions for her before they tell her he is dead, just in case she asks for a lawyer.
They got proof. He's still alive down there. So.
Oh.
They're doing doctor shit. You know what I mean? Well, it's
Did
a
you
good
hear
thing that.
anything about it?
Yeah, I'm doing
alive?
doctor
Yeah, he's
shit.
alive. He's alive. That they're doing doctor stuff. Okay.
I might need an officer to bring me
Yeah, man, I'm doing streamer shit right now.
there so I can grab some
Get your
stuff.
stuff.
Chad, is this real?
What happened? Do you know what happened to his head?
They're doing, like I said, they're doing stuff down there. All I know is that he's alive right now. You know what I mean? He's alive. And I got a question, another question I just thought of as I was sitting here talking to you. You took his Xanax, and he took his Xanax, and you said he got all, ooh.
It was
Give me-
it was really bad.
Yeah, it was really bad with him, but you think he took some cocaine and the Xanax. How messed up were you from the Xanax? And
Not
1 to 10?
not at all.
What? Because
I just
Yeah.
I don't know.
Me
how to
neither,
handle
girl.
guns.
Wouldn't do shit for me either.
Stuff
Yeah,
going
I have
on.
some stuff, yeah, but I'm
Do you
pretty
know,
normal.
do they give you Xanax? Isn't Xanax the one that, is that the happy pill?
I guess it's a mellow pill.
Mellow pill?
No,
Is that the one they
Not-
give you if you get depressed or something?
not
Or
for
no?
everyone.
Anxiety.
Anxiety, that's what it is. Okay, if you get anxiety, you
I'm
get
just happy
Xanax.
he's okay. I wonder if he's going through
But
surgery.
you weren't messed up at all? You were
No.
sober, as one would say?
Yes, yeah.
So it's not like you were so loopy you didn't know what was going on or nothing?
No, I'm bad with guns. I don't know how to handle
Yeah,
them.
no.
Gabriel begins to become suspicious about her boyfriend's condition. Every chance she gets, she reverts the conversation back to her boyfriend to see if he is really still alive. The detective does his best to convince her he is still alive.
Is there any way you can call the hospital or?
They're doing that stuff. They're calling my lieutenant, my sergeant. and letting
Lay
them know
off,
what's
girl. They're
going
doing
on.
doctor shit.
Otherwise, my phone would be ringing and it would be disruptive to me and you talk. You know what I mean? That makes sense. That's why I gotta get up and go find out what's going on.
Oh, he's fine.
He's alive.
He's alive.
That's all I can say. He's alive. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. And you guys weren't fighting or nothing.
No, we're
He wasn't
perfectly
mad at
fine.
you?
No, we were perfectly fine.
You weren't angry or anything?
No, not at all. We were having a good time. We had a great night last night, and it was just an accident. Do you know what I?
It's a benzo, Sneegsnag, and amphetamine. Yes, but Xanax affects people who actually would have use of it differently than people who don't need it. That's why people get high off Xanax, because if they don't have a medical or cognitive condition in which they need to take some or it would improve them, they're affected differently. It's the same reason people do Adderall or Ritalin if they don't have ADHD, because it locks them in compared to it hyper focuses somebody without ADHD, in which somebody with ADHD gets mellowed. What does Xanax treat? Depression. It can have other effects for other people, but once again, much like Adderall or Ritalin, somebody who doesn't need a Xanax for depressive symptoms, they might be totally normal. They might take a Xanax. They'll have a completely different experience than somebody who might need a Xanax or might be affected positively by one. That's the whole problem with opioid usage is opioids, pills, etc. have different uses or different effects on people who might not actually need those for medical reasons. Not depression, anxiety. It's hand in hand. A lot of medicines for ADHD, depression, and anxiety go hand in hand together. Depression and anxiety especially. I mean, I, for one, take one that does all three, but not like deliberately. But it's there's minimal differences with a lot of stuff. So, ultimately, the point still stands that somebody who might be affected the correct way with this drug is affected differently than somebody who might not need the drug. That's the point, not the specifics. They don't give Xanax to people with depression that don't have anxiety. I mean, I'm pretty sure they do. But also, like, I mean, who cares? It's not really like the point we're making. I mean, that's fine. That's fine if that's true. Like, I don't think like the mischaracterization is the point here. The point is like people take drugs that don't need them and they are affected differently than people who need them, right?
Be leaving.
Yes. Give me a couple. Let me finish this up here.
Do you know how much longer this is going to take?
A couple decades,
maybe
probably.
30 minutes at the most, I bet. I'm going to say
You know what I mean? Like for me being here.
that's what I'm saying, 20, 30 minutes, okay.
After getting Gabriel to consent to a buccal swab, the detective decides it's time to tell her that she killed her boyfriend.
Uh-oh.
Okay, I have some bad news for you.
What?
Another call from the hospital. He passed away.
He passed.
Yeah, he passed away. He died. I tell it to you like that because there's no way to get around how bad that is. And I can't
Very
soften the
normal.
blow. I can't make it any better, but he passed away.
When just now?
6:30. It's now 7 o'clock.
From what?
From a gunshot wound to the head. Okay.
Bro, she's like not even moving, let alone reacting. That's crazy. I mean, people have many responses, but that's an interesting one.
After finding out her boyfriend has passed away, Gabriel's first concern is herself and how she will look.
His family's gonna hate me.
Yeah, I can't fix that, and you know you can't fix that. I can't.
Yeah, also from what
Take
is
care of yourself,
wild, because
okay?
like, why are we even in this
All right.
situation right now?
I got more bad news for you, darling.
Why are we even
No,
having
this
the
is over.
conversation?
You gotta go to jail. 'Cause
Do we
you did
remember?
shoot accidental on purpose.
That is
He
true.
died from
She
what
would probably
happened
have to go to
from
jail
your
regardless,
actions. Do you understand what I'm saying?
even if he lived.
Intentionally not on purpose, okay?
So I'm going to jail for murder.
Not murder, it's called manslaughter by culpable negligence.
So I'm going to jail for the rest
Third degree.
of my life.
I don't know about the rest of life. It's not my part of the job, you know what I mean?
But I didn't mean to.
I know.
Like 5 hours ago, my life was perfect. I'm going to jail for manslaughter. How long do people usually get for that? Life?
You keep asking me that. No,
10 to
I don't
20?
think it's life. No.
Like 25 years?
I don't. I'm not even gonna guess because I have no idea. I'm being honest with you. I've been honest with you ever since, haven't I? I haven't really lied to you.
But that's a big charge.
It is a pretty big charge.
Well, you killed a man.
I'm gonna be in jail for the rest of my life. I'm a murderer.
Depending.
I would tell
I
you.
had plans for my future. We were gonna get married.
Prosecutors were unable to prove she
Oh.
intentionally killed her boyfriend, but he was killed due to her negligence.
Interesting.
Which meant they could charge her with manslaughter. In the end, she was found guilty of manslaughter and sentenced to 10 years in prison. Do you think that what she did was accidental?
Like I said,
was it intentional?
10 to 20.
Please share your thoughts in the comments below.
Interesting that they couldn't prove it. Interesting. Very interesting to me. Oh. Yeah, like the contradictions in her story, the conflicting testimony from her mom or from the mom, like there's a lot of stuff there, but that I'm like, it's very strange to me. Well, she'll get out when she's my age, so maybe maybe it was an accident, and maybe she'll be a changed person and be less reckless. I don't know. They say how old she was. She said she was 19. 10 years, she'll be 29. So not really a young adult life for her in the future, but you know, it's a shame. Like once again, it's a shame because it's like all the points we made earlier. It's like, how do you even, like, that's tragic. That's tragic that this situation even happens, especially if it was accidental, because it's so preventative because of what should be being done with gun safety in the house. And I would hope that this was an accident and it's a real shame. I would hate to think that this person did this intentionally. It's hard to think that a 19-year-old's going to willfully kill and shoot their fiance. You know what I mean? Like, it's a strange thing to even think of as the reality. It's not out of the question based off of the concerns of the situation, but even if it's not this, even if it's an accident, the fact that it occurred is so sad. And like why? You know what I mean? Like, it's just such a mishandling of firearms. I don't know. Definitely a weird case. I wasn't expecting her to not be charged with at least second degree murder. But, you know, the third degree manslaughter charge would be an easy to stick. So I could see them having trouble with intent or with emotional distress, etc., with the second or first degree murder. So I understand, like, going for the third degree manslaughter. But yeah, it's a super avoidable situation. I agree. It's a shame. Yeah, I'm also interested because they didn't really talk much about the toxicology of either of them. Like, I don't know if that was brought up in court or not. Obviously, we didn't get a full, like, rundown of the court proceedings, but there was no actual, like, toxicology statements in the video about, like, if either person was inebriated, at least, like, her then and him earlier. You know what I mean? It's very strange. I don't know, man. Yeah, like once again, it's just like very tragic. A very tragic situation, because you're like, this situation being created is such a thing that is like, there's so many missteps, and you hate that. You hate that because a person dies in result of it. And it's like, it's so hard to even Sucks.